everyone. Off we go. We just start. So welcome to this June Exportia Lab. We prompt as usual. So in June, what we are going to talk about is how to beat the slower month in Europe. They're starting over there, the European summer. And so there's always a bit of a slowdown as everybody take their summer holidays. So it's a good time to do a number of things. So we'll have 30 minutes as usual. My name is Christelle Damiens. Most of you know me. 20 years of sales experience in Europe. I have a track record with my business to scale European sales to multi-million with euros for Australian SMEs in high-tech sectors. We are currently managing for customers about 75 international distributors. We focus on getting those companies to their first €1 million in sales. My background is I initially worked for a large corporate in the IT sector for large key accounts. And then I started the business in 2006 in Adelaide to create Exportia and focus on high-tech businesses and how to get them to scale in the European market. Okay, so why have I picked this topic in our June Exportia Lab? It's because there's always this time of the year with the Europeans when they're going to tell you, oh, you know, the holiday season is going to start and therefore, can you please call us back in September? Whereas us as salespeople, we just can't wait for like having July and August gone and do nothing. We can't just wait and just go into a trough and do nothing. So we cannot afford to wait until September, and therefore we need a plan. So what we are going to do today, I'm going to focus 20 minutes on 7 tips for you to maximize the time during this slower season, what you can do, and give you some ideas on what we do. For example, at Exportia, we do a few things during those slower months. And then we'll have some Q&A. If you have some questions, just feel free to ask them at the end. Let's start. So this is the 7 tips we're going to go through. First, anticipation. Anticipate what's going to happen in July, August. Be aware of the country holiday habits. Different countries have different habits. Make the most of the time of the European summer to have better conversations with your clients and distributors. Build a 6-month plan with them. What's going to happen till the end of the calendar year. Prepare for your shows and congresses because they're back and they can happen virtually as well. Time to think about catalogs for your distributors, and then let's do some marketing housekeeping. So that's my 7 tips. Let's go through them. Okay, so first, anticipate. So right now, before the end of June, before the entire Europe goes to sleep, it's time for you to actually prepare that period. So ask now to your European customers when they're going to be on holiday. Some factories are going to close completely during the summer month. So make sure you're aware of them because you're probably not going to have any, you might have just minimal activity during those times. They may have people doing the backup of colleagues. So it's always good to know that. I encourage you to plan catch-up meetings. So nobody takes 2 months from 1st of July to end of August. Nobody takes the full 2 months holidays. Those people have to work. So it's a good time to plan catch-up meetings with them throughout that period. So call them now and actually plan your meetings now. It's a good time. So that's for tip number 1, a bit of anticipation so that you don't roam around the entire summer trying to find who is where, who's on holidays and who is not. Okay, be aware of country holiday habits. So different countries have different habits. So in the UK and in Germany, I'd say it's probably where there's a bit less disruption throughout the holidays. So the British tend to spend their holidays end of June and towards end of July, towards August. But pretty much businesses keep the contacts and keep business going. Germany is about the same. People take, depending on each where you live as a land, each state, depending on the holiday of your state, the school holidays, then the holiday dates will vary. Okay, so it's very, so if you have a Munich based in Bayern, a Bavaria based distributor, they have holiday at certain dates. If it's North Rhine-Westphalia, they have other dates. Okay, so you have to be mindful of that. France is pretty much from Bastille Day, 14th of July, till end of August. People tend to take their holidays then. It's a very common way. So early July, you can still reach people, and toward the last week of August, you can as well. But, you know, people have to back up each other. So make sure you see who is at the office and when. Spain, August is the time, is a slow time. So be aware of that, make the most of it in July. Nordics will tend to spend their holidays a little bit earlier because that's July is the month where they have the beautiful sun, and they want to make the most of those long days, which is quite exceptional for them. So July will be the biggest month for them. Italy is a bit more August as well, again. So, but make sure, I mean, some companies have different policies. Some companies deal with the entire world, and therefore they have, the country may have a specific habit, but they may want to deal differently. So make sure your key customers, people you're expecting orders from, or you're expecting to do business with, make sure you know what's going on with them. Okay, time for better conversations. It is a time that the European summer season is a good time to have discussions and to say, okay, from January till June, this is a 6 months period, what's been working, what's not been working. People are more relaxed to actually talk. So it's a good time to reflect with them and try to see what else you could do together. It's a good time to introduce a new product, discuss that with them. What do they think about it? And it's also a good time to reach to new people. They're more to new businesses and new companies. It's a good time. They're more open. It's sometimes you have tenders coming during the summer season. So it's always good to keep watching the tenders as well during the period and not to forget about that. Time for in-depth business conversation, and people are more open to listen. So it's hence my previous recommendation to schedule some time from early July till end of August to have those in-depth conversations. Tip number 4, build your 6 months plan from July till end of December. And the reason you want to do that is most European business finish their financial year. The financial year is the calendar year. Okay, so the end of financial year is 31st of December. It means that you have 6 months to work with them on their own target. They must have some sales objective. If they are a distributor, the sales rep have an objective, a target to meet. How are they tracking on their sales target? Can your product help them to meet their sales target? And what are you together with them going to do to help them achieve their target? So it's a good time to plan, and the slower European month is a good time to plan that with them, and they have more time, more thinking time as well. Let's not leave it to September. September, then it's almost already, everything is decided, so it's almost already too late. Okay, by the time you try to reach them in September, leads you to October, and then you have just 3 months to finish the year. That's the way I see it. So you don't have 6 months anymore. You have 3 months to finish the end of the financial year for Europeans. So really, really don't leave it to September. Use the summer season to plan and build a plan with key milestones during these next 6 months is my advice. Okay, tip number 5, prepare your shows and congresses. So actually the shows and congresses are back. We've seen that there's a lot of face-to-face congresses that are being planned at the moment. We're not 100% sure that they will be delivered face-to-face, and they are often like mixed. They often half digital and half face-to-face with physical booth. There's options, and the trade show organizer have made them quite flexible. So what to do now? Make sure that you have a few shows for the next 6 months that are planned, so that you can make the most of those activities and marketing activities to generate leads. So digital congresses, but also physical shows. Prepare your booth design is a good time. Most of the shows in the industry will happen October, November, even September, and therefore it's time to plan your booth design. Start your lead generation campaign now. Who are you going to target for those congresses and those shows? Who are you going to invite to those shows? So that's good to review your list, make sure it's all updated, and start to prepare a save the date communication, especially if you have a show or digital congress in September. It's time to say, hey, when you're back from your holidays, come and see us in September at this congress or digital congress, or attend our conference. So it's a good way to actually reach out to customers as well. What happens with certain distributors, and I know some of you today work with distributors, is that they issue their update for their catalog, which is, their selection of products that they are going to publish on their catalog. And so often towards the summer month, that's where there's 2 rounds of updates typically for European distributors. They either update their catalog so that September they issue the catalog and they publish and distribute it, or it's usually towards January. So there's 2, it's either they do their updates now for September, and then they're ready with their new catalog for their trade show, or they say, no, we actually update our catalog January. So then you have a bit more time. So just check with your distributors when they update. If you're not aware of when they're updating their catalog, it's a good time to reach out to them. So many distributors are updating their catalogs now. They will ask you for your latest photos, products. Check with them that all your products are on their catalog. Are you missing anything? Have you updated your prices? There's a bit of a negotiation as well. They are going to want to make you pay if you want a double page, if you want more information. So there is a bit of negotiation going on for you. It's time to review. Are all my products on this page? Have they not missed anything? Is the wording correct? Is it clear enough? It's a good way to check that. Check the paper catalogs, ask the PDF, check the online catalog as well. That's usually a good time to do that. And then we also have, just checking the time, I think we're all fine and easy. Marketing, it's tip number 7, marketing housekeeping. It's usually a good time also to check that your distributors and everyone has the right marketing collateral. So internally, are your marketing collaterals updated? Do you need any translations in specific languages that you are missing? It's good time to update your website and make sure so that in September, when everybody's back, you have everything updated. You know, do you have all the latest safety data sheet on your website, the latest technical release documentation? Do you have your certification documents on the website? So it's a good time to do a bit of a check. And then in terms of your distributor's website, often we work with distributors to make sure that our products are on the catalog, but then we forget to check, have we got our products on their website? Have they displayed the right photos and so on? So it's good to do a bit of a check. Check your distributors, are all of your products online? Are they still online? Oh, have they disappeared? Why are my products not on their website anymore? What happened? So it's good to do a little bit of a check with them. And it's a good way to reach out and to keep the conversation going, keep them active. In terms of marketing housekeeping, check the next 6 months congresses. You may have registered for a few, but you may have missed a few as well. Some of them have decided to postpone. Some of them are going ahead in a mixed digital, physical. Some have gone again, especially in the medical sector. Most of them have gone 100% digital again for this year. Especially smaller digital congresses, they usually don't want to take the risk. So marketing housekeeping is good time. The European summer is a good time to do that. Now, let me recap. So very simple, anticipate, ask your contacts when they are on holidays. And also make sure you schedule in your agendas with them some meetings to discuss about the next 6 months. So be aware of country habits. You know, your Nordics might be gone already or they're about to go. So hurry up if you need to contact them. You have a bit more time with the Spanish, but so be aware of those country habits and they have different time at which they take their holidays. It's plan some meetings to have better conversations with them. You know, let's regroup on the last 6 months, on what we've done, what worked, what didn't work. Maybe that product didn't work. What is the feedback? What is the team doing? Do they need any training? So it's good time to have good conversations. And then build with them a 6 months plan towards so that they reach the target for the end of the calendar year, especially for distributors. It's a good time. And then it's good also with key accounts to say, okay, in the next 6 months, what are your priorities? What are you going to focus on? Do you have any specific project you need to get done before the end? Everybody has a target, a goal, a performance objective. So build your 6 months plan around those objectives. Prepare your shows and congress. If you have congresses or shows, you know, September, October, November, it's time to prepare. And then catalog preparation is also a good time to regroup with your distributors and make sure that it's a good time to make sure it's updated, that you are going to be in their new catalog, that your products are going to be there, making sure all the information are correct on current catalogs, images are correct, description are correct, and that you've not disappeared from their catalog without knowing, which sometimes happens. So it's time to do a marketing housekeeping exercise. You know, is my website up to date? Have I the right collateral? Is it time to do some translations? My safety data sheet, are they updated? And are my distributors, do they have access to our marketing? Do they need something else? And do they need any marketing collateral from us? So it's a good time to do a bit of a marketing, housekeeping, check their website as well and see what's going on for them. So that's our 7 tips for today. I've seen your question, Sanjay, and I'm going to come to it. So now I have we'll go to Q&As first, I think, before I give you a challenge. Sorry. So, Sanjay, if you're speaking to someone who is not a decision maker and time delays due to holidays, what do you recommend? So, if you're not talking to the decision maker, it might be good to get them to know when you can set up a time. So if you can't get a time with them, and if you can't get them to involve the decision makers, maybe you need to know who that decision maker and target them directly if it's appropriate. You don't want to bypass people. Or otherwise, another way to do it is to say, okay, you don't want to talk to me during summer, let's plan a meeting in September right now. Some people are giving us meetings in September already. So right now they are giving that to us. So it's just don't hesitate to do that. In terms of so if people give you excuses for the delay of the summer holidays, look, you have to think. You have to think that there's. You need to find what their motivations is. How are you going to convince them? I would need a bit more context to know what you need to convince your person to introduce you to the right decision maker. We have another medical. Oh, we've got another medical sector. We have 2 medical sector companies here today. Many European distributors have said that attendees only log in for educational presentations and leave before they visit booth. What feedback experience do you have with virtual conferences? Okay, so with virtual conferences, our experience is that we 100% need to talk. We need to have presentations, and I agree with you. This is the same feedback as what you have, is really make sure you have a presentation. And best of all, if you have a customers of yours that can talk during that presentation, so one of the peers, so if you are targeting, I don't know, cardiology, make sure that you have one of your cardiac surgeon talking and presenting about your technology and how they've used it and how they have adopted the technology and what happened. Because people don't want to hear salespeople talking, they want to hear their peers. Even if it is an Australian surgeon, Europeans will be very open to listen to them and to their experience. We have done that in the past. So agree with you, virtual conferences work if you speak, and then you send them to your booth. But people go to the booth. We've had a few leads from booth, but it needs to be combined. Not just a booth. Just a booth, it won't work. And that's why you need a conference. I agree with you on that one. No problem. Anyone has any other question? Okay, now feel free to send the question as we wrap up. We have a few more minutes. So a challenge for you is to reach out, set up meetings now with your main European clients or distributors before or after or during their holidays to talk about the next 6 months. Reflect on the past 6 months and plan the next 6 months with them. Have meaningful conversation with them. So that's my challenge to you. Schedule those meetings. July or August is a really good time to do that. All right, so let's plan now to finish 2021 with success for everyone. And some of you, I think, already have my book, but there's an opportunity to receive a copy of the book that you can share with somebody, or if you haven't read it, just send us an email. We will send you a follow-up email, and you can then just send your details, and we'll be happy to send you a book as well, which has won the Australian Best Business Book in Sales and Communication in 2020. Okay, so if anyone, okay, so we have another question coming up. So at the moment, there's no traveling restrictions, and for physical presence, I mean, for people in Europe. If you are traveling to Europe, I think the Australian government still has restriction for you to come back. So it's still an issue, but you can work in team. If you work in team with your distributors, you can actually get them to attend on your behalf and work with you. I mean, we have our team over there that we have already planned to send to the European congresses towards the next 6 months. So that's what we have planned for our customers. That's how you demonstrate your product. Other option is to have somebody like a distributor to also represent you and work with you. So that's another option. All right, everyone, if there is no other question, this was our June Exportia Lab about how to beat lower, slower European summer month and how to make the most of it. So I hope you enjoyed it. We will have our next Exportia Lab in July, and then potentially in August. We also have one in team with one of the government agencies to talk about distribution agreement and pricing and T's and C's. We'll have that for August, and for July we'll let you know the date and the topic. If there's any topic you would like me to talk about, just post it in the chat or email it to us when we send you the survey, the follow-up email with all the information. All right, everyone, nice to see you all. And I will see you in July for our Exportia Lab July issue. Thanks, see you again.